Welcome back. Sunday evening, fantasy from the fairway. We did it last week. We're doing it this week. We're on camera.
Yes,
Jenks, Casey, let's do it real quick. Recap of the CJ Cup. Congrats to Jason Kokrak pulling it out. What was the number? How many events?
233.
233 events without winning. Damn. Good for Kokrak.
Yeah,
Good for Kokrak.
I think they said 35. He's been there forever.
Damn.
So he's been chasing this one. So good for him.
Good for Kokrak, man. Admittedly, we are some Xander fans, so I think we wanted Xander to win, but it's not like we have anything against Jason Kokrak. Good for him.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
So he'll get the exemptions. He'll get all of that. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about some of our selections that we went with. Let's start here real quick. A lot of birdies.
Yeah.
I did not think the winning score was going to be 20 under. Maybe I was naive, but how'd they get so damn low?
I mean, if anybody watched, the roughs were very thick. The greens were very quick. I don't know. It was surprising to me. It was surprising to you, but they went out there and they did it.
Agreed. Probably not as many full screens this week because we're busy and whatnot. Disappointing day for Jaguars fans. I just want to work that in. Jesus Christ. Anyway, all right. Let's go to the 10K range. We had a lot of thumbs up there, but our best one by far is Xander Schauffele. Solo second. Is anybody really surprised?
No, I mean, if you watched, he kind of, I wouldn't say, well, I would say because it's Xander. He choked a little bit, not crazy or anything, but I definitely think he could have made it a lot closer than he did. My phone's dying. We're good though.
The problem with Xander, I think that he has is he doesn't win. Like whenever he's in the lead, he chokes it, and then when he's coming back, he comes back just to the point where he can't win. So I don't know. I think
he loves the top fives.
He loves
Does
the
not
solo
like the
second.
winner circle.
Yeah, I don't. He's so talented, and I don't know. At some point, he'll figure out how to win, but it hasn't happened yet. He loses to Kokrak 9K range. Let's flip down there. Tail Hatton we had as a thumbs up, who finishes in third. Good week for Terrell, which we kind of thought. You were concerned about the travel.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that. I didn't think it was going to be a huge factor. It turned out not to be. He played well. He played well the weekend before. I think he's just hot right now.
Yeah, agreed. We had Tony Finau the thumbs up, obviously. You know how that went. We also thought Morikawa was going to be an all right play. He finishes tied 12th. Berger wasn't as good as expected. We had him thumbs up. He still, he finished the tournament under par. And I think the interesting thing here was, so you have Kokrak at 20 under, Xander at 18, couple guys at 17, couple guys at 16. Then it goes 13, 12, 11, 10. Like, from going from who finished in solo fifth, which was Taylor Gooch, congratulations, and solo sixth, Joaquin Niemann, was 3 strokes. So, like, from the top 5 to the rest of the field, it wasn't close.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like, yes, who was on? Morikawa finished tied 12, but he was 8 under. So he was nowhere in the stratosphere of the leaders, you can say.
6 unders tied for 21st. So there was definitely a big separation.
Agreed. 8K range, we only had a few guys thumbs up. Harris English, I was concerned about how low he would get. He did finish in 10th, so that's pretty good. The rest, it wasn't that great. Answer was okay. He was 5 under at 28. So, I mean, not a bad weekend, but just not as good as expected. In the 7K range, boy, I'm going to rip Gary Woodland a new one next week. He's let me down twice in a row. Nice man. Tune in next week if you want to hear what I have to say about Gary. God almighty. Joaquin Niemann. We just talked about him. He was my, spoiler alert, if you hadn't watched the other video, you probably hadn't. He was my top 25 pick for our thing. He does indeed feel that. 7K range is good for us, besides Woodland. Woodland screwed us. But yeah. So then we had Niemann thumbs up. We had Brian Harman and Russell Henley, which was your doing, and it worked out.
Yeah, Brian Harman, he finished tied for 28th. Only 7,200. He was tied 6th during the whole tournament for total birdies. He had 21. Clearly, he had some bogeys too that put a damper on his finish. He struggled with driving accuracy, and if you watch, the rough was thick, and he just put himself in some bad spots. 7,100. We also had, well, I talked about him, Russell Henley. Tied third, 17 under. And I'm going to say the worst Sunday outfit I've ever seen.
It was brutal.
It was
It was
brutal.
really
It was
brutal.
terrible. I think he needs to fix that, and maybe he'll win one of these times.
God, that was a bad outfit.
Yeah.
Man. We were admittedly watching some football. I had to work a little bit, but we were flipping back and forth. And when I saw Russell Henley for the first time, I said, God.
Yeah, it was a bad look.
What was worse, Russell Henley's look or the Jacksonville Jaguars on the football field?
The Jags.
Yeah. But Russell Henley's fit was still bad.
Yeah,
Russell Henley's fit was still
Yeah.
pretty bad. Yeah. Should we go to 6K?
Yeah.
Wasn't good. Our 6K graphic is not good. We're not going to put it on the screen. I thought Kuchar would be okay. He wasn't. I thought Kevin Na would be okay. He wasn't. You thought Fratelli. I think it was you. You wanted Fratelli, right? Yeah, he wasn't.
No. Yeah.
Adam Long. Shout out Adam Long, man.
Yeah.
Adam Long. I wasn't so sure. Or wait, no, I was sure on Adam Long. That was me this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, Adam Long, 74th out of 78. And it would have been worse because Jason Day withdrew and he was above him.
Yeah.
God, Adam Long. Boy.
While you might not be happy with Adam Long, there's a lot of people who are a lot more upset with Matthew Wolff than you are with Adam Long. Yeah.
Oh boy. Harry Higgs was our last thumbs up. You put him there and you were right. You had a good week. Tell us about Harry Higgs.
I did. Harry Higgs finished tied 21st, $6,300, $300 before the very bare minimum. Like we said, there was a big discrepancy between the leaders and then 21st. He only shot 600 throughout the 4 days. 14th in driving distance, he hit a 308.5 off the tee. And then he was tied 22nd in greens and regulation at 68%. Like we all knew, he's good tee to green. I think he needs to clean up around the green and then putting. But I think right now, he's going to stay at the bottom of DraftKings prices.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good player now. He's looking really good.
He is, and that's pretty much our picks there. The low field, the 78-man field, the no cut. So nobody took the weekend off except Jason Day. Kind of.
He took Sunday off.
He took Sunday off, but that was that's a different thing. So yeah, that's it. I mean the picks were all right. We weren't as good as last week, but we were all right. Both of my lineups placed. I don't know how did you?
Yeah, placed as well.
Yeah. So but I just don't like the no cut.
Same.
So that was. I mean, I could have entered more money and all that, but I just didn't feel it. I don't like the no cut.
It takes some strategy out of it for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. And Gary Woodland. So also Brendan Steele. Shout out Brendan Steele. He also single-handedly tried to lose me money.
Yeah.
Shit. So let's go to the picks. As you can see here, I picked Dustin Johnson. You picked Tony Finau. This is real life. So we're sitting there. I finished editing the video last week that 7 of you watched. I put it up, and I refreshed Twitter. Dustin Johnson is out with COVID. I refreshed it again. Tony Finau is out with COVID. And I looked at you and said, we are not putting up another video.
Yeah. It took us a while, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out because both of us got 0.
Yeah. So we're FedEx Cupless, pointless, and we get to use Dustin. I get to use Dustin. You get to use Tony again because I didn't play.
Right.
But our top 25, both of our guys finished in the top 10. Yeah. Niemann was 6, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then Henley.
How about that? 2 top 6s, even better. 3rd and a 6. We'll figure out the points for that next week, but it's on the screen. That's the graphic we used in the last video. If you don't trust us, go look at it because that's it. So there we are, the top 25s. I'm still down a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 FedEx Cup points. I picked Xander on my website, Pro Golf Now, so I should get some points for that. But I didn't pick Xander here just because of strategy and whatnot. So that'll do it. Pretty much the highlights, Hatton, because he was a little undervalued. Niemann was under, and Henley. So we had some good ones there. If you saw it, if you didn't, I'm not surprised. Come see it next week. We're going to talk about the Zozo.
Next week, we got a cut, and we got Tiger.
Stacked field. Tiger, Rory, everybody. No Bryson again, but Tiger, which is what people care about. And Phil. Phil's back.
Yeah.
After winning another Champions Tour event.
He's cleaning it up.
That'll do it. Fantasy from the Fairway, a recap of the CJ Cup. Join us next week on, I say next week. Join us like tomorrow or the next
Tuesday.
day. Probably Tuesday. Join us Tuesday for some picks for the Zozo for Jenks. I'm Ham. Play us out.